Hi, I'm Nick Tyler. I'm the Chadwick Chair of Civil Engineering here at UCL. So I work in the Department of Civil, Environmental and Geomatic Engineering, where we take a very broad view of what we mean by civil engineering. So that for us includes not only the engineering side, the hardware, but also the fact that engineering in this case is about people and cities and environments, and therefore we're very interested in all the different kinds of environment that we want to do our civil engineering in. I think one of the issues in Lebanon, I think, is a societal one, that where you have a large number of people in the population of the city that are essentially kind of waiting to go home. So they neither feel inside the local society nor out of it. So they're sort of in almost like a sort of margin where they're not part of the local society where they're living, but they're also not part of the society where they come from. So they're sort of living in this sort of slightly strange place. And the trouble with that is that it means that the way that they approach the place that they live in, the facilities that it does or doesn't provide, is sort of kind of temporary. So they may or may not be looking for a permanent solution to something. They may be looking for a temporary one, because actually in their head they're going to go back somewhere else where they would rather be. But the reality is they may be there for decades. So how do we actually square that with the needs of the city itself, which is saying, why are we going to invest in money with people who are going to go away? So you have to find a way of actually squaring those two things, because underneath all that societal piece is actually a whole civilization. And we need to think about how we're actually going to create the infrastructure that is going to support that whole coming together of those civilizations, so that we end up with a thriving and livable city. It isn't going to work by fixing it for one party or the other. It has to work by fixing it for both. And to do that, we have to understand how those two cultures come together, what actually is the time-based need, how do we understand that, how do we make it work, and how do we understand what kind of infrastructure do we then need to build, so that we don't waste our resources building things that are not going to work.